After 3 decades of marriage, my mother looked my father straight in the eyes and called her affair partner a real man. On July 31st, my father discovered that my mother had been having an affair with a coworker. And honestly,
Here we go again.
coworkers can be just as dangerous as cell phones in today's world. The man himself, her affair partner, actually called my dad while he was at work, not once but 3 separate times, telling him directly. When my dad confronted my mom, she admitted it without hesitation. Then, as if to twist the knife, she told my dad that her coworker was a real man for confessing, like my dad should somehow thank the man who helped destroy their marriage. All I can say is she's lucky she's still breathing. Some people wouldn't handle that kind of betrayal so calmly. That line still echoes in our ears. She went on to explain that her coworker had told her my dad didn't care about her, citing various reasons she had never once communicated to my father. She claimed she shouldn't have to tell him those things.
What kind of nonsense is that?
No one is born with the ability to read minds. In a healthy relationship, you communicate your concerns, needs, and feelings. At least, that's what I was always taught. Then she admitted it wasn't my dad's fault, that it was hers. She even called him the perfect husband and confessed that she was the one with the problem. But by that point, she had already secretly signed a lease for an apartment, planning to leave him without saying a word. And all the while, she was still lying beside him at night, telling him, "I love you," kissing him, and acting like everything was fine. She works the night shift, and during the days when she was supposed to be home sleeping, she had started turning off her phone's location. One day, we saw her last location ping at a Target parking lot, then nothing. We were terrified something had happened to her. But the truth? She was with him. What cuts the deepest is the timeline. My parents had just celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary in June. And after 3 decades of marriage, she chose to start an affair in April with a man who's only 39 years old. That's just a few years older than I am, and barely older than the length of their marriage. While my dad was planning their anniversary celebration, she was already lying, already planning her exit. They've shared over 30 years together. 8 years ago, they bought a beautiful, peaceful home on the lake. My dad loves it there. It's quiet, serene, and his safe place. He told me he doesn't want to leave, but now he's staring down a $300,000 mortgage alone, along with the debt my mom racked up with her spending habits. The worst part? When they divorce, and I hope they do, my dad will likely be hit hard in court. He's already cutting every non-essential expense just to survive. He canceled pet insurance, ended subscriptions, anything to keep afloat. He sends me messages that break my heart. Things like, "The dog we got for your mom sits at the window, waiting for her," or "I saw a baby deer today, and for a second I thought, I can't wait to tell her, then remembered she's gone." When she came back to pick up more of her things, she didn't show a shred of remorse. No apology. No regret. Just coldness. I'm 35 years old. The man my mother is with is 39, recently separated, with 2 young kids. My mother is 55, close to retirement, and is putting the apartment in her own name. She even had the nerve to ask my dad why he didn't leave her money for rent after paying the bills this week. Seriously? You want the man you betrayed after 30 years to give you money? Ask your affair partner for that. She hasn't reached out to me to explain, or even to share her side of the story. Maybe because there's nothing she can say to justify this. I heard she asked her affair partner if he knew what she was giving up, 30 years of marriage and her daughter, and she still went through with it. Now, I'm doing my best to help my dad survive while I grieve too. I've lost the version of my mom I believed in. I've lost the family story I thought I knew. I don't know how to carry both his heartbreak and mine, but I want to help him start healing. And maybe once he does, I'll be able to start healing too. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Here are 3 comments people have shared after hearing this. First comment: your mother is an awful person. Once this younger guy gets bored of her, she'll come crawling back to your dad, saying that after 30 years together, he should give her another chance. He needs to say no. The fact that she did this, so coldly and without remorse, is reason enough that there will never be a second chance. You and your father deserve far better. This will likely damage your relationship with her forever, because how could you ever trust her again knowing how calculated and cruel she was, scheming behind your backs to leave for a younger man? Second comment. Please be there for your father. Have him visit forums like this one or Surviving Infidelity. Remind him that the blame for cheating always falls on the cheater. It's not his fault. In normal relationships, if problems arise, the couple works to resolve them. If that fails, they separate, grieve, and then move on. Cheaters, however, just hop from one relationship to the next without caring who they hurt. Your mother is showing no empathy, insulting her long-term spouse, abandoning him for her affair partner, and trying to justify it with excuses. Distance yourself from her. Keep people who treat you well close and remove toxic ones from your life. Third comment. Your dad is the real man here. Real men don't cheat. My ex once cheated, and later told me that the guy she was with ended it because he felt guilty, and she actually praised him for that, as if it were admirable. I asked her, "Why didn't you end it and feel guilty?" She had no answer. Be there for your dad. Let your mom destroy her own life without dragging you down. Don't feel guilty about creating distance. Encourage your father to contact an attorney immediately, and don't let your mom know. If you live in an at-fault state, it could help him tremendously. Tell him to fight hard in the divorce, and if she earns more, he might even qualify for alimony. No matter what, don't let him take her back when she realizes what she's lost. This story doesn't have an ending yet, but even without one, it needed to be told. And if there's ever an update, I'll be sure to share it.